In the quiet suburb of Willow Heights, an incident unfolded that would expose the hidden cracks beneath a community known for its spotless lawns and strict homeowner rules. On a warm afternoon, the HOA president, known in the neighborhood for her rigid enforcement and fiery temper, forced her way into a resident's home under the pretext of an emergency inspection. She moved through the rooms with the confidence of someone who believed the rules existed only to empower her. What she didn't expect was the man she was shouting at, standing calmly, holding a federal badge in his hand, a badge she had never imagined she would face. Within seconds, her authority collapsed, and everything she thought she controlled spiraled out of her grasp. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. The homeowner at the center of the incident was a man who lived a remarkably structured life. Recently appointed to the federal bench, he had moved to the quiet neighborhood seeking a break from the demanding rhythm of the courthouse. His new residence was modest, clean, organized, and chosen for its promise of privacy. But the community he entered was governed by an HOA known for micromanagement. Most residents stayed quiet, accepting the fines and warnings as part of living in a supposedly elite community. But a few whispered concerns about one particular person, the HOA president, Linda. Linda had built a reputation for enforcing rules with a personal interpretation. Some saw her as overly committed, others as power-hungry. To her, compliance wasn't enough. Control was the goal. The new resident didn't know these stories. He wanted peace. From the moment he moved in, Linda observed his every move. A trash bin placed slightly differently, a car parked at a slight angle. Nothing escaped her attention. Despite his efforts to comply with the regulations, Linda's notices began arriving weekly. The pattern was subtle at first, but there was a tone of targeting, a fixation that hinted at something more profound and unspoken. As weeks passed, Linda's involvement escalated. She issued warnings for things that seldom mattered to anyone else, the window blinds being slightly uneven, a welcome mat she claimed was non-compliant, and even the color of the mulch. However, it perfectly matched the community guidelines. But for Linda, the rules seemed flexible whenever she wanted to apply pressure. Other residents occasionally received notices, but none matched the intensity of her monitoring of the judge's home. One morning, she stood outside his garage taking photographs. When asked by neighbors what she was doing, she claimed to be documenting violations. Yet it was clear she had no reasonable cause. During meetings, she spoke of him as though he were a threat to the community's uniform appearance. She questioned why someone with his lifestyle moved into their neighborhood, though she never said what she meant by it. Her fixation grew. She searched for legal ways to enter the property but found none. The judge never substantially violated the rules. She disapproved of the way he lived. Eventually, Linda crafted a plan under the guise of an urgent inspection. She claimed there had been reports of a safety hazard in his home, though no such report existed. On the afternoon of the incident, she approached the house with keys she had obtained from an unauthorized copy, a copy she had no right to possess. Without knocking, without calling, she unlocked the door and stepped inside. She didn't expect anyone to be home. She didn't expect to be caught. And she certainly didn't expect what came. Next 4. Climax, 180-200 words. When she entered the living room, she found the homeowner standing quietly near the doorway, observing her actions without interrupting. She pointed towards scattered papers on a table, legal documents, unrelated to the HOA, and began shouting about violations and unacceptable conditions. But her voice faltered when she noticed something hanging on a hook behind him, a black robe with the words "Federal Judge" embroidered across the front. She paused only for a second before attempting to regain authority, ordering him to step aside as she claimed the HOA had the power to enforce surprise inspections. At that moment, the homeowner reached into his jacket and revealed a badge, unmistakably federal, unmistakably real. Linda's face shifted instantly, from anger to disbelief, from disbelief to dread. Just then, police officers arrived at the doorway in response to a trespassing report filed earlier by the homeowner. When the officers addressed the man as Your Honor, Linda's last fragment of defiance collapsed. Her voice, once loud and commanding, disappeared entirely. The investigation that followed revealed more than an unauthorized entry. Linda had exceeded her authority for years, often targeting individuals she believed would not challenge her. Her actions had created an atmosphere of quiet fear among residents, who worried that speaking out would make them her next target. With her actions documented and her motives exposed, the HOA board removed her from her position. She faced charges of trespassing, harassment, and unlawful use of a key. Though she avoided severe penalties, her reputation and her influence were dismantled. The community saw a shift afterward. New leadership created transparent policies, fair enforcement, and a commitment to treating all residents equally. Many neighbors expressed relief, admitting they had long felt powerless. As for the judge, he returned to his peaceful routines, never seeking revenge or attention. His calm response had done more than punish an offender. It had restored balance to a neighborhood that had silently endured unfairness for too long. The incident became a quiet reminder that authority can be misused not only in courtrooms and institutions, but even in small neighborhood associations. And it left one question lingering for anyone who has ever felt targeted without reason. Have you ever felt unseen in a place you worked so hard to belong? Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Take care.